What's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with a Black Clover chapter 311 review and breakdown. Now, before we get started, if you like anime reviews, breakdowns, and just random stuff, I do a plethora of stuff. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you want to support me directly, I actually have my own manga out, the Most Random Manga Ever, the first cannabis manga comic in full color, so you can read 8 chapters online for free, or you can get the volume 1, which has 11 chapters. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this. So this chapter, I'm glad that the officials came out, because it does change some things. So this chapter is called Make It Home Alive. Now, there's some symbology in this that I think that possibly a lot of people had missed. And it's towards the end. And I think it's not as in your face on who it is that they're talking about. But it starts off, boom, completely slashes through Zenon's heart. And Zenon is having this dialogue and saying, even at our first encounter, I sensed something like myself in you. And Dante asks, what made us different? And then, it's just all like, don't ask me. I'm not there yet myself. I still haven't completed the vibe made with that guy. And then we see, as far as Zenon have the flashback, as far as with Alan. Now, at that same moment as Zenon's falling to the ground in freaking half, may I remind you, like on some Darth Maul stuff. It goes back to as far as Nozel, Asta, Gaja, knocked everybody, and they're noticing that everything is disintegrating, because Asta's just all like, the whole thing is disintegrating. I don't know when I saw that, I instantly see moments where he does that in the anime, and I instantly was just animating that in my head. We get as far as Mimosa's still healing, Noct, as one of his devils, comes in, and Noct's just all like, it looks like, defeated Zenon. And then Asta's just like, huh? He's like, and we see, as far as we've taken out the whole Dark Trias, why is the Vada Cliffwalk still advancing? Now, one of the things that I do want to take into consideration is the word defeat, or taken out and killed and murdered. Because I want it to be very clear that it did not state that they were dead. It just says they were taken out. We've taken out the whole Dark Triad. It does not mean that they're dead, and I think that that's going to be very, very important, even with the title of this chapter. But then we get a glimpse of, as far as the Spirit Guardians, which I've heard some people completely roasted. I'm talking about coffee beans, Folgers, freaking fresh in the morning, roasting the Spirit Guardians. And I think that it is unfair to say that, you mean the Clover Kingdom people are the only people that can get these ridiculous power-ups within a couple of days, but the Spirit Guardians can't get a power-up that's able to, destroy some devils? Come on, guys. Y'all are evil. Now, we get as far as the flash to the Clover Kingdom. Now, again, all of these things I feel like are very, very important, and just the little glitter effect. Now, we get as far as, what Julius is actually saying, which is something isn't right. It feels as if something enormous is about to emerge. And then we get straight to as far as Dorothy being defeated off screen against Morris. Now that is crazy because as Morris states himself, you know, your power would be invincible, he's talking to Dorothy, if the devil's power hadn't made my magic able to affect intangible concepts. Now, going back as far as to the Julius thing, a lot of people were saying that now there's a lot of theories going about. There's theories that, you know, Julius could be the time magic devil host, or the fact that Morris is speeding up time with whatever it is that he's able to do, and Julius is a time user. Basically, just like if the curses and everyone who had curses or had maybe cursed magic was affected by Mijikala's defeat, maybe anyone who has time or a sort of time magic. Now we know that it's rare, we only know of Julius using it and Morris using some sort of magic to speed up or to use as far as with time. Now, with that being said, some people say that this is proof that, you know, Julius is the devil. Some people say that this is proof that he isn't the devil. So I'll give my thoughts on everything when we get to the end, and I'll break it down. So, you know, now we get Lotus. Now, I feel like Lotus's name, I feel like everyone's name is very important in some way, shape, or form. But, you know, we get this dialogue that is just all like, you know, Morris is telling, you know, Dorothy that I'll entertain myself toying with you, you know, and he goes and looks to Lotus and he's just like, you don't interest me, so if you retract your betrayal, I'll spare you, you know. And Lotus is just like, unfortunately that won't fly, you know, because it doesn't sound like, you know, my family could be or live happy in the world you're trying to create. And Morris says, love for your family. I no longer need that, which is interesting because it didn't say that he never or anything like that. He said, I no longer need that. After all, I'm the only messenger. I'm only the messenger for the ultimate devil, Lucifero. We get this freaking, I told people it was gonna be crazy. It was gonna be crazy because today's Halloween, you know, and we was gonna get some crazy stuff going down because of that. Now, Morris says the second gate will open soon, and he's just like, using my magic, I've modified the Tree of Clip-Off, and he no longer needs the Dark Triad as long as he has the magic and lives of the cores, Yami and Vengeance. The gate of the underworld will open. And then Noelle should, or that's actually Dorothy. I thought that was Noelle for some reason, because I thought that, at first I had thought that Noct was showing people what was going on, so that actually, but that's Dorothy. So Dorothy's just like Yami William, and Morris is just like, this is the best seat in the house, you know. And then we get as far as Morris's modification magic operation, and he's able to put together as far, because it looks like these are the corpse of the devils that maybe Dorothy and Lotus had destroyed, and he like put them together. And so Morris is just like, let us watch the advent of the King of Devils together, assuming you survive, that is. And then Lotus is like, I'll make it home alive back to my family. And then the devil like attacks Lotus, and remind you, Lotus is one arm down, you know. And then they hear, and Lotus is like, what the heck? And Morris, and then you see as far as the two like caskets with Yami and William, And Morris is like, what's that noise? Now, this was something that I noticed when reading this back. We have to look at everything. And Yami twitches. I don't know if they're supposed to be unconscious or something like that, but they made it a point to make some type of reaction coming from Yami, and then boom, we get the freaking whole Black Bull's base. It splatters that devil that was attacking Lotus, because that's one of the things that I was just all like, yo, did they straight up splatter that freaking devil? And I look and it's like splooch. And you see the devil, like you see as far as this devil breaking apart, and they're like, we're here to pick you up, Captain Yami. Now, again, going back to what as far as the name of this chapter is, Make It Home Alive. And then boom, we have Yami's literal home at the end of the chapter, and some of his freaking people coming as far as to save him. So let's look at all of this. Let's break down all the things that I'm seeing with some of this stuff. So for one, they wanted to make us see the fact that the heart was split in half. And it was completely sliced through. So we're all thinking like Zenon should be dying, right? He should be dead, you know. But again, with the way things shift after Zenon, he's like starting to like fade away and everything like that. But again, he's not fully gone yet. They made it apparent to not show him fully gone yet. You know, we get this transition and we get Asta and everybody looking at the crumbling, you know, everything crumbling. Now, for one, we have to take into consideration that Noct must be at a good power, because he's using as far as his power again. And one scene it wasn't, and then one scene he was. You know, now the other thing that we're looking at is the fact that all of the Dark Triad are there. They're there and they look knocked. They all look like they're KO'd. We don't know if they're dead yet. That's the thing. They should be dead, but we have to take in several different considerations. For one, we know that Vonica was damn near on the verge after Noelle completely corrupt. Like, I can't wait to see that animated, because yo, she came up on, she's straight up bleeding. But we don't know what Magicula, her taking control of her, what that did, because even on here it looks like she's starting to fade away, but we don't know if that's debris, because it's not showing the same thing with Dante. It just shows him knocked out, you know. Which was the same thing that happened when Asta beat him. Again, he wasn't dead, but similar faces, you know. Now, they showed as far as the Spirit Guardians. Why? I wanted to, you know, I think that a lot of people had an issue with the fact that we didn't see Dorothy actually do anything, and she got like off screen and everything like that. But for the viewers and the readers, we know how powerful that Dorothy is. So I think that it was something that didn't need to be showed, but was implied, because we know how powerful Dorothy is, and she only had gotten powerful from the last time we seen her in action. So that's a testament to how powerful Morris has become. Now, not only that, Morris is taking on Dorothy and Lotus at the same time. So that also should let us know how powerful Morris is. And Morris, it looks like he's not even breaking a sweat. He's not even breaking a sweat. Now, the one thing that I want to point out Now, Morris made it very clear that the way that he rearranged this. Oh, and the other thing with Magicula. So, Lucifero knowing as far as what was going on with Magicula, now with him not having to wait for the final gate to come out, he could come out on this second gate is very, very important because, again, Morris rearranged this joint. Lucifero, he knew what was going on to see what she was going to do to manifest herself out, and he was just all like, this good trial one, got to see how that worked out, see what, she did wrong and everything like that. But now here we are. Now, several things, it was their magic and life, Williams and Yami'S. So, again, my whole thing was the fact that you had Yami make a reaction. Yami made a reaction, and then literally the next page, we get the Black Bulls busting in. Now, I have to look back on other pages. I don't think we had seen them have any sort of reaction before. And that's one of the things that I want to put out. I had this theory a while ago, and I was all like, Yami's secret plan, because we have to take into consideration what Zagreb had said, which was dark magic can interfere with this. So, and plus, I personally, yes, Yami was fighting and he was tired at the end of the fight and everything like that, but something tells me that there is more to what Yami's gonna be able to do to contribute to all of this than we're like being led to even think. So, looking at this, I'm all like, okay, there's some interesting thing. I personally think that Yami, now we have to take into consideration who pulled up. We have Gray, we have Vanessa, we have Henry, we have Ghosh, and we have Gordon. Now, we have to take in the abilities of Gray, who they made it a point to question as far as the nature of her magic by what she was able to do for Ghosh. So that's going to be an asset. On top of that, we have Vanessa, who can literally change fate. But they made it very clear to understand, again, how powerful Morris is. He can interfere with intangible concepts. So with dream magic getting mollywopped, we have to, that's why there's multiple of them. So I'm curious to see what type of spells all of them have unlocked. They just literally one-shotted a Frankenstein devil with the base itself. So that's very, very interesting. And even though Dorothy was like Yami, William, the focus was split towards them. Now, this is going to be an interesting fight. We have Lotus, Dorothy, Gray, Vanessa, Henry, Ghosh, and Gordon. So we got as far as 7 people against Morris. Not only that, we now are going to have, which now that Nog is, he should be healed, so he should be able to pack everybody in the shadows and get over there to Morris. So then we're gonna see this ridiculous fight that goes down. All the while, there's so much going on. That's why I'm curious to see. And personally, I think that Yami will be joining the fight at some point. You know, I think we're gonna see Lucifero come through, but I don't think that we're gonna get full-powered Lucifero. Just all like, I don't think that we seen the last of Mijikula. You know, so we're gonna see. The next chapter is gonna be, it's gonna get interesting. I think it's gonna unlock a lot more. But my main thing is the fact that Yami had a reaction, which like I said, I think is very important. You know, so we'll see. Anyways, what is y'all's thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Go ahead, you leave that like button. It helps so much. You know, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure to check out my manga, The Most Random Manga Ever. And yeah, my latest single, Invincible Summer, all that, link in the description. So Mr. Composition, MC That Bright Fiction. Peace.
In the darkness, turn the galaxy into my office. Translating thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my